What's up, everybody? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. As you guys can see by today's title, today I'm going to be sharing 7 signs that you were raised by a narcissist. Unfortunately, all of the things that I'm going to be mentioning in this video are things that I experienced as someone who was raised by a narcissistic father, okay? Sign number 1 that you were raised by a narcissist is that you always felt as though your feelings and opinions never mattered. You never felt seen as a child, and you never felt heard as a child. And I couldn't help but see how other children had a different dynamic with their parents. I couldn't help but feel a little bit envious of those children that were treated with love. And their parents did pay attention to them as children and as adults as well, okay? So that's sign number 1. You felt like you didn't matter. And you still probably feel like you don't matter as an adult, okay? Because that never changes with a narcissistic parent, okay? Sign number 2 is that you were highly criticized growing up. Everything you said and did and your appearance was highly criticized. It is normal, of course, for your parents to criticize something about you growing up, okay? That is normal. But when you're raised by a narcissistic parent, the criticism is very frequent. It is daily. It is every other day. When you're raised by a narcissistic parent, you are highly, highly criticized. Everything about you is highly examined. The way you express yourself, the things you like, the way you look, everything is highly criticized. Which brings me to sign number 3. Because you become so accustomed to all of these critics, all of this criticism, you then turn against yourself and you become highly critical of yourself and the way you do things and the things that you should be doing and the things that you lack. Everything. You become highly critical of yourself as a child and as an adult, okay? Sign number 4. You were always compared to other people. It could be a sibling, it could be the neighbor, it could be everybody and their mother. You are always compared to other people. Now as an adult, if you're still in touch with that parent, or growing up, okay? There's always these comparisons that are very hurtful, and they're very mean when they're comparing you to others, okay? Sign number 5, you then become highly obsessed with being an achiever, with becoming successful, and not by your own definition of success. You then become obsessed with achieving the things that your narcissistic parent deems as successful. Somewhere along the line, growing up, your own meaning of success and happiness dies. And you then live to make your narc parent happy, to gain their acceptance, to gain their love, to feel validated by that parent. Number 5, you feel unlovable. You feel inadequate growing up. You have deep feelings of unworthiness and feeling like you're not enough. You're not getting high enough grades. You're not pretty enough. You're not educated enough as you get older. You lack education. You lack maturity. You feel like you lack and you're not worthy and you're not enough. You feel this as a child, and that grows with you. That follows you as an adult. Last but not least, sign number 7, you don't feel loved by your parent. You never felt loved by your parent, not as a child, not as an adult. They can tell you many times, as they often do, but I love you. I love you, son. I love you, daughter. I've done so much for you. And as often as they say that they love you, as much as they claim to love you, this is a love that you never truly feel. Instead, you feel sadness and emptiness as you begin to think of that relationship when you were younger, and that same relationship that you may have with your narcissistic parent now. You don't feel the love. You feel everything but love. That emptiness is always there in that relationship between you and that narc parent. It feels empty. It feels sad. Talking on the phone with that narc parent doesn't bring joy, doesn't bring happiness. Because energy doesn't lie. You're not going to feel empathy and love and care while you talk to this narcissist parent, because it's not there. It doesn't exist. You're simply there to make your parent look good. You exist to make them feel better about who they are, to feed their ego, to tell them things they want to hear, not the truth. Your truth is going to be offensive. When you sit down with a narcissist parent and you try to explain how you feel about your childhood and the lack of attention and the lack of love and their lack of accountability for the ways that they hurt you, you're not going to feel heard. You're never going to feel heard. A narcissistic parent is never going to voice that he or she is accountable for the ways that they hurt you. It's not going to happen. That conversation is never going to happen. If you're waiting on a narcissist parent to take accountability, you might as well keep waiting the rest of your lifetime, because it's just not going to happen. And if they ever do, if they ever take accountability, they're going to do it as a way to get you back into their lives, as a way to gain something from you, okay? Because that's how narcs are. I'm going to do this in exchange of something else, but it's not going to be something that they do or say because they truly feel like they failed you as a parent, or that they could have done things better as a parent. A normal parent, an empathic parent, is not going to see a problem with apologizing to their children, whether they're young children or adult children, because no one is perfect here. But a narc parent, oh honey, they're going to fight you. They're going to put up a big fight because they don't see their flaws. They don't see their flaws. They believe themselves to be perfect. So it is truly a waste of time to have a conversation with a narcissist parent in which they will take accountability, in which they will apologize. Forget about an apology. You can forget about getting an apology. You may have a conversation in which they're going to deny everything, and they're going to gaslight you. Okay, that's something that I didn't include in this list, but we all know that we were gaslit our entire childhood. And as adults, okay, they're going, if you're going to have a relationship with a narcissist mother or father, you are to know that that is who they are, and it's not going to change. You're going to have to understand that your truth, the truth, is just for you to know and live with, because they don't see it that way. They're never going to see your side or feel that they failed you in any way. It's not going to happen, okay? And that was my video for today. Hopefully on my next video, I'm going to share how to undo the harm of these things that I mentioned as adults, how we can heal from our childhood as children of narcissists, okay? And yeah, that was my video for today. I will see you guys next time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.